And we're live, I think. Welcome to Self-Care Sunday, April 2019. Everybody, it is a pleasure to be here. I'm not sure that anybody is here in the chat yet. I'm just going to sit my butt down, get comfy, and pull that up on my phone. Welcome, everybody. It is a joy to have you with me here in Brooklyn. My name is Zach Valenti. I make videos here on YouTube, podcasts across the internet, and I like to do Project Uplift, an insane mental health awareness campaign. I guess, is it mental health awareness? Is it mindfulness awareness? Are they different? That's a good question, and I look forward to talking about all of that with you here today. One moment, please. I'm just doing the thing where I go to my channel and then pull up the video so I can see the chat on my phone. Oh my gosh.
That's a good question.
So many amazing familiar faces here. H. Galvin, welcome. Benjamin Theodore, welcome. Oh, Delaney C, welcome. Raging Artist Tree Kid, Sarah P, Mitzrayim, Angel, Ace Vedo, I'm joking. Nemem, it's so great to have you here. Welcome, everybody. And can I just say, I'm sure glad to be here on Self-Care Sunday. Got my laundry in the laundry machine. I'm going to vacuum later today. I got a beautiful cuddle morning with Tiffany this morning. So I am already in the spirit and just really excited to sink further into this fine Sunday with all you fine folks. A little bit of an overview today. I'm going to be talking about overwhelm, and we're going to do some guided sitting meditation stuff about all that. I certainly have felt overwhelmed in the last 3 months working on more creative projects than I've ever maintained simultaneously. I have a couple things that I'd love to share with you guys at the end today of things I've been working on, but I'm going to switch it up and not do that at the beginning this time. First, I'd like to start with some thank yous. First, I just want to thank all of my patrons at patreon.com/ZachValenti. I know I've been super sporadic and really just not posting much on that platform. I've been doing what I need to do in my own life to be creating and staying creative, and I feel guilty from time to time for not posting there, but that's my personal problem. Your support enables this faster internet, so I can do live streams like this without tearing my hair out more than I do anyway, because live streaming is fun and full of issues. But it means a lot, and I just appreciate your support. It definitely helps keep the lights on, including the gigantic light that is lighting me right now. I also wanted to just shout out all of the Audio Fiction 101 students. I'm going to talk a little bit more about that online course, but for everybody who's signed up already for Audio Fiction 101, where Gabrielle Urbina, Sarah Shackett, and I of Wolf 359 teach you pretty much everything you need to know about thinking about writing audio dramas and audio fiction pieces. It's just been a blast to have that course live and in the world. And we're going to be doing a Q&A for students tomorrow night, Gabrielle and I, right here, not on YouTube, but right here in this basement. If you've signed up for the course and signed up for emails, you'll get an email about that, and we look forward to seeing you here tomorrow night at 8. How the hell are you guys? I want to know. I'd love to hear what is new with y'all. Angel, I'm glad that my failure brings a smile. Caspian C, welcome. Kara O'Brien, welcome. Oh, it's so great to have you here for the first time. That's so sick that you have been trying and you made it, and it just means a lot. Thank you for being here. And Trish Cleveland, Welcome. So yeah, I'd love to hear how y'all are, where you guys are streaming from, what's new, what are you looking for perspective on, what are you celebrating? Just love to hear all of that in the comments. It's really a delight to see y'all connecting. I see Mitzrayim is here, who was at a bunch of this live show that was in New York City on Monday for audio dramas on Friday. Friday, live streaming, talking, reading things at the same time. I'm good at this, but it was great to see you, IRL, Mitzrayim. Jake Nichols, I hear you on the tough, and I'm glad you're here too. Um, Banana bread, Maddie, I'm jealous, and I would love some. And it sounds like raging artist, you've been stuck in bed with a chronic illness for the past month, but was able to walk your dog today for the first time in a while, and that is a huge win. I've been delighted and had the privilege to walk a new dog. Kathleen, one of my beautiful partners who lives on the Upper West Side, and just got this adorable little beautiful dog, Sir Percy. I've gotten to walk him, and it's just such a breath of fresh air to have a dog in one's life. And I love Tiffy as well, and I hope she joins us today. She's in the windowsill, but she might join us a little later. But I'm not a dog or cat person. I'm just a yes to animals person because they're so cute. Man, so many incredible notes from people streaming from Cairo, Egypt. So awesome. I'm so sorry that your workplace is stressful and toxic. Let's shake that off. Um, so yeah, let's see. I have felt overwhelmed the last couple months because I said yes to more projects than I've ever said yes to. I was teaching, writing, producing, editing, acting in whatever you'd call that, 2 online courses. One is the Audio Fiction 101 course. Another that I haven't shared much about yet on the internet that's been live on Udemy is sort of a small business course on how to use cold email. And I have never recorded as much content. I've never had to write so many scripts for like videos, because normally I just improv my videos and then fix it in editing, which is why I don't do videos very often because they're very hard to edit. But I really had a breakthrough in how much work I did, but I also nearly broke myself because on top of those 2 courses, I was doing freelance work for a massive university in the city, and on top of that, doing 2 podcasts, and then other sort of life and other areas of focus didn't go away. Taxes are coming up, so I definitely had a couple of humbling times in the last 3 months, and I like to think that I learned something about taking care of myself at a new level, and that the beauty of this Self-Care Sunday check-in is that I get to reflect on where I have taken ground, where I've learned, where I feel like I still have a lot to learn, because I don't think I have any answers, just some lessons learned, if that makes sense. And yeah, this whole feeling of overwhelm, I think, is one that I'm not alone in. The more that I've talked to other creatives and other people who are ambitious, and I think that everybody at some level is ambitious, even people who don't consider themselves ambitious, because I think even if you have dreamed of a slightly better world for some people than the one we have, I think you have an ambition, even if it's doesn't seem that big to you. And I, and I don't think there's anything wrong with ambition unless it is actually greed in disguise. But that's not necessarily wrong. It just comes with, you know, a great cost to others and to oneself. But as far as like healthy ambition goes, I think one of the things that I really learned was the value of patience. And I don't really believe in like astrological stuff, but my mom sends me this one email that's always uncannily on point about Aries, and that's my sign. My birthday is actually coming up on April 9th in a couple days. 29. I've survived, and I got one more year until 30. I'm looking to make it count. Um, but yeah, I guess patience is a virtue that I've wanted to avoid. And I really learned the joy of it and the bliss of it in this past quarter, the last 3 months, working on all of these projects and having to say no to things that I really wanted to do that I couldn't fit in with all the things that I'd already said yes to, and feeling like I might fail at everything that I signed up for, um, and pulling through with just a tremendous amount of support from Kathleen, from Charlotte, from my parents, from my my partners in crime and business and art, Gabrielle and Sarah, and just my friends, Maddie, Andrew, Jonathan. Um, the list can go on, but it really does take a village. And as somebody who grew up sort of anxious and controlling um, and really hungry to prove myself and in the process trying to do everything by myself, uh, I think I finally hit the wall of I can't do it all alone. Um, and I think thanks to a combination of self development and learning practices and explorations, including therapy, including landmark, including uh, listening to long form YouTube videos of Jay Krishnamurti and other speakers that I've had the privilege of finding and enjoying. And then also just hitting my head against the wall of, sitting quietly in so-called meditation, just like, you know, risking getting out of my comfort zone and trying something new has gotten me here. And I thought that I would share a very brief, a page-long reading from this book, The Book of Life, Daily Meditations with Krishnamurti, which I actually got permission to read from the publisher. Thank you, everybody at Harper Collins One who said yes, which I think is just one person, and thank you to the J. Krishnamurti Foundation, Corey in particular, who hooked it up. This is a passage called "Listening with Ease." Listen with ease. The idea of this book is that there is one small passage for every day, um, and and this first one I thought was a great place to start in this conversation of, can we live a life without overwhelm, or not necessarily without overwhelm, but who are we in the face of when things feel like they are too much and I can't even? Listen with ease. Have you ever sat very silently, not with your attention fixed on anything, not making an effort to concentrate, but with the mind very quiet, really still? Then you hear everything, don't you? You hear the far off noises, as well as those that are nearer, and those that are very close by, the immediate sounds. Which means really that you are listening to everything. Your mind is not confined to one narrow little channel. If you can listen in this way, listen with ease, without strain, you will find an extraordinary change taking place within you. A change that comes without your volition, without your asking. And in that change, there is great beauty and depth of insight. I find that when I am feeling really overwhelmed, there's this pervasive, persistent sense of tightness in my neck, in my face, sometimes even in my hands. They get clenched, just everywhere. And this idea of listening with ease, of just, and it doesn't have to take time, taking just even a moment. Part of my brain wants to say every hour, but then the other part is like, it doesn't actually matter if you repeat it, if you really just in the now find the ease to just listen. Because strain, I find, takes away my capacity to listen because I'm too busy holding that tension. And just like surrendering into the moment to just hear some sounds and feel my body. And notice my thoughts instead of being on the train of thought, watching the trains go by. And really just finding space with overwhelm present. Because I think the thing that I caught myself doing over the last 3 months is trying to run away from that sense of overwhelm. Like, I don't want this. This is bad. I want to feel more relaxed. And then creating more stress, trying to shove it down or push it away instead of just embracing the present moment whenever it felt unbearable and not making it wrong that I feel like I want to get out, go numb out with television or whatever else, and just let go. And I found a lot of freedom in just, even setting a minute-long timer and lying down on my rug and just letting every muscle in my body go. And it can be helpful to even tighten up everything and then let go. That's like one little tool, one practice that I got from somebody a couple years ago. Yeah, I'm curious in the comments what you guys think about overwhelm and how you guys meet that as it arises. This whole week has burnt me out, Ariel. That is real. Yay, Dimitri Silver. I'm glad you got that notification. Big mood, Ariel. Jake Nichols, the accomplishment definitely feels nice. And the almost breaking myself, it's just one of those things that's like bringing some sense of awareness naturally changes what's being observed. Aries squad, Maddie. Trisha Cleveland, I have a couple friends that have turned 30 already, and I've held their hands through it, and they're going to hold my hand by it. Tree Kid, questions anytime, welcome anytime. Uh, Feel free to make that happen. um, hmm. Emir G or Emir. Man, this talk about ambition is super relevant. I lost out on a position I really wanted, but realized the position I'll be working in instead will give me the chance to have an influence. That's awesome to hear. Hmm. Caspian Sea, I agree that breathing exercises are super useful. My aunt and I recently hung out. She's an incredible artist who lives in Italy most of the time, but she's been in town recently. And one of the biggest things that she got as a tool in the last several years is just simply deep breathing. Breathing deeply in through the nose, filling the belly, and then out through the mouth. Just. And that is all I'm not all she's needed, but, that has been a break glass in case of emergency. And it's, well priced for daily use. Nizzy Holloway, I so relate to that. Trying to do too much, then overwhelming yourself, and then forcing yourself to prioritize what actually needs to get done. I'm finding that there's then a further distinction between what needs to get done in the short term and what brings joy that maybe isn't ever an emergency, in the sense that, like, I had said yes to all these projects, and I was having to hit deadline after deadline, and of course other things are coming up, but I'd put the things that I could do later off so I could do the thing due now. And by creating busyness for myself, I always had to get good at prioritizing, and I could do a lot. But there's this blog post that uh, Seth Godin wrote recently that I guess I can pull up, called "Busy is Not the Point," um, which I actually got a lot out of. I had as the background in my phone for a while. Um, Busy is not the point. This is from Seth's.blog. There's a common safe place, being busy. We're supposed to give you a pass because you were full on all day, frantically moving from one thing to another, never pausing to catch your breath, and now you're exhausted. No points for busy. Points for successful prioritization. Points for efficiency and productivity. Points for doing work that matters. No points for busy. And I love that distinction between being busy and being efficient and productive, successfully prioritizing, doing work that matters. And I think that the thing that's maybe hard when you're in the nitty gritty, like when I was in the middle of recording my cold email class, it got easy to feel like I was just terrible at this, and that, what am I, doing with my time? What am I doing with my life? Like, uh, isn't there something more meaningful than business? And it's just easy to get sort of zoomed in. Um, and then, of course, I have the perspective now that it's live of people in countries all over the world who are learning and, incorporating new practices in their businesses. That's really changing their lives in some even small way, maybe large way. I don't know because I don't know all these people, but it's just as reviews come in and they're positive, and same for the audio course. Um, you know, I can feel that sort of like side of the work that matters. I think the thing that I'm like looking forward to implementing in the future is successfully prioritizing the basics, making sure I'm getting movement on a thrice weekly basis at least, making sure that I'm eating a green thing every day, making sure that I'm getting enough water every day. These are some of the things that, just for the umpteenth time in my life, I looked up feeling miserable and was like, oh God, I just haven't been putting in the basics. No wonder I feel miserable. So yeah, I think um, balance. I've said before, probably on these streams, and definitely on. I don't know. I lose track of where I've said things. But this idea of balance is not Boston. You don't arrive there and live there forever. You are constantly in the process of balance, and I think it's falling out of balance that teaches us how to bring more of it to more challenging situations. And I think that the overwhelming feeling that I have on the other side of the self-inflicted overwork that I just sort of navigated out of is this. Uh, there's this. I think it's an Einstein quote about the level of thinking at which we create a problem can't solve the problem the new problems that we've created by solving the last problem. And so then we have to level up our thinking to solve the current problem, which then creates new problems that we can't solve at that level of thinking. So we naturally are evolving in the process of problem solving. And every new failure is a success over our previous capability, right? You see this sort of continuous growth in bringing yourself into work that matters to you, and nobody can tell you what work matters to you except for you. So, yeah, I hope this makes sense. uh, so I see a bunch of exercises here from crying is such a rush. Everything that afterwards is just a nice nothing. I love crying. It feels really, really good. It's like a catharsis. Um, I see breathing in for 7 seconds, holding it for 7 seconds, and exhaling for 7 seconds helps. I have a question here about poly relationships and their portrayal in media. I'm not sure I have many thoughts about this. I think that there is a lot of. I think everybody has an opinion, and what isn't sort of standard or normal is often Tiffy is often met with resignation, cynicism, judgment by people who subscribe to ideas of normality. And I think it just gets complicated to talk about. Oh my God, you're so beautiful, Tiffany. I just saw you enter in this. This has like a little bit of a delay. I don't know. I think we're going to see more portrayal in time. I think until now it's been like an edgy thing to put into your content in mainstream media, where the people writing it probably aren't people that have experienced it. And I think that democratized storytelling formats and venues like podcasting and and web series and all these things are giving folks who, you know, who are doing it and doing it ethically, a platform to share their experience directly. Um, and yeah, I don't know. I hope that answers your question. Mainstream media has misrepresented it in a damaging way. That's probably accurate, but I also I think that you could probably find counterpoints to that, but they're probably not super in the mainstream. Trisha Cleveland, I've been making it a point to make lots of good food lately. Oh, so many explosions around Tiffany. This is great. Oh, you're so beautiful. Yes, you're so beautiful. Hmm. Having a pet is a blessing. Um, I always said that a cat would find me at some point, and then Julia Sheldon died and threatened to haunt me if I didn't take this little nugget in. So um, we became roommates. Now she desperately wants to get out of the basement. um, but we have the best cuddles, and she actually is super athletic despite her age, and she turns out she might be like 18. Um, Tree Kid, I hear. So earlier saying that I'm privileged to have others that are just supporting me when I'm down. What is it like, or what can you do when you have that feeling of overwhelm and there's no one there? Well, one, I find that it gives me some peace to uh, not step outside myself, but to consider that I'm not alone and feeling alone in my overwhelm. Like when maybe I'm feeling not feeling low and there's not somebody else around to support, or people aren't available on the phone, or I can't think of who to call, or you know, if I'm in a place where there's not that, you know, that community. Um, just knowing that there's somebody whose name I'll never know somewhere in the world right now at this moment who's feeling similar and can relate to the way that I feel, makes me feel less alone. It makes me sad at one level to know that there's somebody feeling sad that I can't help. But it also makes me feel like maybe those feelings aren't personal to me, or those intimate personal feelings are universal at another level, if that makes any sense. Um, and and I find that that can kind of take the edge off in a way. Just that acknowledgement of the 7 billion brothers and sisters on Earth, or more. You know, just the people and other siblings. Just the connectedness in our shared sense of disconnection, and reflecting on that, I find to be somewhat uh, liberating from a sense of you know, oppressing solitude. If that if that makes sense. Uh, and then I think that that the hard thing to do is to take action in the face of, and to risk reaching out to into the unknown. Um, it's to just take action in the face of that sense of depression or isolation, and to risk taking new actions that might end you up in a situation where you're not alone, like attending an event in your local area, or taking a really really cold shower just to kind of shock yourself out of your head, and then going through your phone book and calling the first person in your phone just to say hi. And I don't know, there's like, I think, games you can invite yourself to play, even when you don't feel like it, that just by trying them out can sometimes shift that feeling inside and then make other actions apparent that weren't apparent, and brings sort of some space, some oxygen into the room, if that makes any sense. Yeah. I was thinking that maybe we would do a little stretching, or self massage. How about it? So, if you're sitting, that's cool. If you want to stand up, that's cool too. Hi, Tiffy. Do you want to come here? So why don't we start with our wrists? I know that my wrists get real messed up after a week of lots of computer time. So yeah, just like sort of stretch out my arm in front of me, and then take this other hand and just gently, and you don't want to push it down, just let the gravity, oh, hey Tiffy, just sort of bring down this palm with the other hand and breathe into that. We'll just hold that for like 20 seconds. And you can let it go if it's too much as you just sort of lightly bring it down. Oh no, Tiffy, I was going to pet you. You should come back. I lost count. We'll just do it for another 10, 9, 8, 7, 6. And then bring it back up, and you can even do it the other way for 20. Breathing deeply. And then you can shake it out and switch sides. My love Charlotte gave me this beautiful bracelet that's on this wrist. And we can stretch that out and bring it down to the other side for another 20 seconds. Shake it out. This is the definition that my therapist gave me for mindfulness, which is participate, observe, describe accurately. Oh no, my inner dad is showing and I just can't hide it. Jake Nichols, how do you approach making friends as an adult in order to have those people to call? That's a really good question. And I think a really big part of it for me is around surrounding myself, or like sort of where's the fire, if that makes sense. Like, given my interests, like where is there something happening that would happen without me that I could participate in? Or what do I want to start that I'll do without anybody support that I can then sort of invite others into, that second one is risky because you might end up just going it alone. And the first one is risky if you have your own ideas because you might end up working on somebody else's project and not have as much input or say as you might want. And I think that balance is really something that you'll have to explore. I don't really have an answer. For me, like that is maybe applicable to you. For me, it's like going to a meetup group that is about something that I want to learn, or doing some research and finding a space. Like I know spending time at a resistor. So for instance, uh, going to the Women's March in 2016 introduced me to somebody that worked at a makerspace, and then hanging out at the makerspace taught me all this stuff about privacy, and introduced me to people that were interested in things that I shared interests with, and so yeah, so I think it's like kind of learning to use the beauty of the internet. Is you can kind of, as a surfer of the internet, watch the waves and see where there's maybe people surfing and go surf with them. And it's risky because it's scary to maybe get rejected. And I know better than anybody else I know about a fear of rejection and wanting to be liked, and being generally self-conscious. Um, so yeah, I think it is sort of looking within yourself for where you would want to run, like what directions excite you, and what you would want to connect about, and then seeking out people who are like-minded, and sort of risking it not working out, and then there's a whole ocean of conversations we could have about resilience and meeting potential rejection and taking risks. Let's see. Uh, it is not off topic at all to love Wolf 359, and I'm so glad you're having a blast, Lara uh, Kuznetsova. That is dope. Alexi W, welcome. I'm so glad that you made it. You're here just in time for some more stretches. Ugh. So now that we got our wrists, I was thinking we could move on to our hamstrings. I know for me, as somebody who sits all day, I carry a lot of tension in my legs. And one stretch I love that one of my former yoga teachers taught me, that you can do on the subway, in a chair, uh, you know, literally anywhere you can sit down, is take one leg and put the ankle up on your knee. Oh, Tiffy, your little tail is like right at the bottom of the frame, and it's so cute. Um, and then basically, and if you can't do this, that's fine. Like if that hurts to bring that up, don't force it. If you can get it there, that's great. If you can't, I'll show you an alternative stretch that you can do to sort of get closer. But from here, keeping your spine tall, so sort of like reaching through the top of your head like there's a string here that's pulling you up. You can then fold forward a little bit. Just breathe into that. You really don't have to go far, sort of as far as you feel a stretch, and you'll feel it in your back butt. You can kind of just breathe into that. As you go, you can sort of come down into it, but it's really more important that you sort of reach up through your spine than you come for, really far forward. You just don't want to force anything. And just remember to keep breathing. Just a nice way to open up your legs a little bit after a long week of sitting at a computer. I don't know about you guys, but my work is so computer oriented. And it can be a real bummer at the end of the week when I want to do something that is not related to how I pay my rent or not, a survival job thing. And I just don't want to look at the computer or sit at the computer anymore because I, was doing it all week. And and I'm learning to one cultivate non-computer interests so that I have something else to look forward to at the end of the week than spending more time at my desk. And then also I'm, I think, leveling up in my thinking about how to break up with work I don't want to be doing so that I can spend more time during the week doing at the computer things that I think make a difference. So that's been exciting. Oh, god damn. My butt hurts. It's nice to get a stretch in. So yeah, again, it's just as simple as getting your leg up here, sitting tall, and then coming forward just gently as far as you need to feel that stretch and breathing into that. You just have your other foot flat on the floor. Oh, yeah. Alrighty, let's see. Oh my gosh, happy early birthday, Alexi. That's so exciting that it is your birthday tomorrow. It is my birthday on Tuesday. Birthday club! Alrighty. Coming down to the floor now. Aw. Hey, Tiffy. Do you want to stretch more? Oh, good girl. Whoop-a. All right. So this is an alternative if you couldn't get your knee to behave exactly the way you wanted to on the chair. I find it a little easier to do it laying down. So you can just sort of bring your leg up and again get that sort of like ankle over your knee on the quad right here. And then you basically interlace your fingers behind the knee and just pull that up gently. I just like to do that once in a while just to get some space back in this meat suit that is, the only one I will have. I mean, who knows? Apple might invent some kind of iBody by the time I'm in my 80s, but I'm not going to count on that. I'm not going to do this one for the full time because I just did the other one, but I just wanted to give you guys that variation. And for those of you who that was easy for that want to go a little deeper, I really like the pigeon yoga pose. Also, I have to say I'm not responsible for any injury. Please go slowly. Listen to your body. Don't do anything that hurts. I'm not, not a certified anything except human. So, be gentle to yourself. But yeah, you basically put one leg out in front of you. Might be easier to show you at an angle with the other leg. Just sort of like get that out in front of you. And then you get the other leg back. It's best not to have a laundry thing right behind you, but what are you going to do? And then you can just kind of sink down like that. Whew! And it is a punishing stretch, but it feels damn good on the other end. And if you can learn to let go into it, it can even feel good while you're doing it. Whew. Man, happy self-care Sunday, everybody. Oh, Christ. That is a good stretch. It also helps to not have a microphone attached to you while you're stretching, but we're learning. Oh, I would love to do like really simple stretching CDs like my mom's given me over the years to learn how to do this stuff. Just focused on computer-based creatives. Wappa. Oh. It's amazing how hard it is to start a stretch and like just to say I'm going to start doing this versus getting lost into Netflix or into a YouTube binge and just continuing to be static, but it is equally amazing how good it feels once you get started. And I think I'm getting better at pulling the trigger on getting started on these sustainability things before I pull the trigger on the I guess more project-oriented, ambitious things, which can be unsustainable without a little bit of wellness practice. That's basically all I got, I think, for today. I think I can share the links that I wanted to share with you guys, and maybe we'll see if Tiffy wants to play and then say goodbye for the day. What do you say? Benjamin Theodore, I feel you. A little bit of jumping and jumping jacks and stuff goes a long way for getting that blood flow. I think I have invested in a workout meditation stretching space. I think it's my apartment. Get on it, Tim Cook. I'm going to pre-order that iBody. That's funny. Zach Valenti, certified human. I appreciate that, Ari. Awesome. Well, let's see if Tiffy wants to play before we say goodbye. All right, Tiffy, where's your toy? Yeah. Look at this baby. She jumps so high. Let's see if she'll do it. Aw. I think she would prefer pets right now. What do you think, Tiffy? Are you feeling pets? Aw. She likes to gum the metal here. I think it feels good on her gums because she has no teeth. You're such a sweet animal. Aw. Hmm. Well, it has been a delight streaming with all of you once again here for Self Care Sunday. Um, wow. Oh boy. Kara O'Brien, I hope that your leg heals up soon. Oh, all the stretching feels good. I'm glad. Oh yeah. That's great. Okay. Oh, I see. It looks like okay. I hope you can stretch soon. Um, Nizzy, this cat can jump like basically up to my like waist um, when she's in the mood. Um, oh, I have one more thing that I can share with you guys. One second, let me go get it. Just gonna leave this over here. Well, before we say goodbye, let me just show you this new thing that I'm excited about. And I'll talk to you in the meantime about No Bad Ideas, the storytelling game show podcast that I've been doing with Gabrielle Urbina and Sarah Shackett of Wolf 359. It's a podcast. You can learn more at nobadideaspodcast.com. That's nobadideaspodcast.com. And it's just such a hoot. Whoa. And the idea is we take terrible ideas from the internet and turn them into stories that are actually good. In 30 minutes, we set a timer, and then we talk about creativity and life and work-life balance and the lack thereof and all that good stuff. And it's been a real joy to make that happen with the two of them. It's available wherever podcasts are served. nobadideaspodcast.com. And yeah, I love doing that with them. And yeah, that's one of the things I've been working on. The audio fiction course is available at audiofiction101.com. Audiofiction101.com is where you can get that course, and then I'll put a link for the Udemy course in the description after we go live, where if you're a freelancer or run a company or whatever, you might find some value in it. So anyway, I'll put all that there. In the meantime, check out this thing. So you may be familiar with Project Uplift. It is the insane mental health mindfulness awareness project that I've been doing for the last several years. And I've wanted to do it more. I've, gotten to tour to Singapore and all over the U.S. with this device that lets you lift the world with your mind that previously was 15 feet, then it was 7 feet, 8 feet. It's in the corner over there. This is now the portable version, so I can do it basically anywhere in the world. I have a carry-on suitcase that this folds down and fits into. Yeah, I figured I'd demo this little guy. I've demoed the bigger one for a while. So you turn on the headset, and then I have this crazy power button over here that you flip on. Got to have the headset near the wireless receiver. Otherwise, we'll have to turn it on and off. But yeah, you turn that on. And then it does a test sequence, so the Earth will go to the top. There's it's not clear because I have the protective sheeting still on. But yeah, lifts the world. Whoop-a. Tiffy's like, what the fuck, Valenti? Not again. So then, yeah, you take this headset, you put it on your head, and the next thing you know, it's reading your brain waves, and when you relax, you can literally lift the world with your mind by just listening with ease. I'm going to try the 7 breaths in, hold 7 breaths out. It's always a bit of a scare when it starts working. So the fan is spinning as fast as I'm relaxed. So when I close my eyes, you can tell I'm getting self-conscious because it's slowing down, but then as it gets louder, I'm more relaxed. So yeah, I'm going to be bringing this all over New York City this summer. I may eventually upgrade this crappy wood thing, but this is going to be sort of what I do for fun on weekends as the weather gets nicer and nicer. I'm going to find some what's the word? High traffic areas in the city, and share the gift of mindfulness with the powerful visual of Project Uplift, showing people that when you lift yourself up inside, you literally lift up the world. So if any of you are going to be in the city this summer, definitely get at me on Twitter or whatever. And yeah, I'm just super excited to get to meet people and share what I feel I've learned. And I have this crazy idea that when I bring this out, I'll be able to teach the first person and they'll teach the second person, and I'll just like sit in a lawn chair and hang out and answer questions about the project while people teach people mindfulness immediately after learning mindfulness, because I think that it's impossible to separate teaching and learning. No tiffy. That's an open, exposed fan and electronics. Yeah, that's good. Go hang out up there. Thank you, babe. She's such a good roommate. Well, I love you guys. This is super enlivening for me. I can't wait to be back here next month for Self-Care Sunday. And yeah, I guess, you know, in the meantime, enjoy whatever it is that you're up to, whatever it is that feels good for you. I hope you make some time for it. And I applaud whatever ambition, mission you're on that is about making a difference. And I encourage you to practice giving yourself the love and care that I assume that you probably want to, you know, receive from others and give to others as well. Because I know I've been guilty of beating the shit out of myself doing so-called meditation, which isn't worth the time. So, yeah, take care, and happy creating, if that's something that's a part of your life and your practice. And I don't know, if you listen to No Bad Ideas, we'll be back not this week, but next week. Sarah's on vacation, so we're taking a week and banking episodes and getting smart about distribution so that we don't burn out on that, because I think burnout is not necessarily inevitable. So, yeah, and it's just, you know, everything comes in time with practice. So we're over here doing our thing, and we appreciate y'all where you are doing yours. Peace. This is the part where I got to get up and press the button. Ah! Boo boo boo, boo boo boo. No 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 no. Let's see. There is the button. Yes. Stop streaming.